Hey guys, what's up? It's Asylum Reviews here, coming at you guys with my 205 Live and NXT results for the post-WrestleMania editions. Now, these are two quick shows for this week, especially NXT. NXT went by pretty quickly. 205 Live, however, was the more better show as far as this week goes, since the takeovers that happen before NXT, we always get the last storyline, the last build-up for the matches. But afterwards, the post-NXT for takeovers, we always just get the normal matches that you see that were pre-taped before takeover goes on the air. So this is what we got. So we're going to kick things off with 205 Live, and we only had two matches on the show. We had Humberto Carrillo versus Jack Gallagher. The first episode, 205 Live, after WrestleMania 35, kicked off with the announcement that newly crowned WWE Cruiserweight Champion Tony Nese will be defending his title against the man he defeated at WrestleMania, Buddy Murphy. Before that, however, Humberto Carrillo and gentleman Jack Gallagher took the ring for a rematch. In a match that was surprisingly back and forth early on in the contest, Gallagher and Carrillo looked very evenly matched for most of the contest, with Drew Gulak ringside acting as a coach. It looked for most of the match that he would gain the upper hand by taking down Carrillo. However, with Carrillo slowly starting to gain the upper hand, Drew Gulak interfered with the match, assaulting Carrillo for not listening to his advice. After taking down Carrillo with a vicious clothesline, Gallagher got into the mix, taking down Gulak with a headbutt to end the chaos. After the chaos of the first match, it was time for Buddy Murphy to try and reclaim the Cruiserweight title from Tony Nese. One thing that they didn't mention here was that after Gallagher, got into the mix, when Gulak tried to take down Humberto and he beat him up, Gallagher, he came to Humberto's aid and he took out Gulak with the headbutt, just like it said here. So this could be signs that we could be seeing Jack Gallagher back into a babyface, and I think that's the right decision moving forward for him, being that his heel run really didn't do anything for him. The fans weren't over with him as a heel. They're way more over with him as a babyface. So it's going to be nice to see him transition back into the Jack Gallagher that we all once knew and loved when he first became a part of 205 Live. So it's going to be very interesting to see what to do with him moving forward. But yeah, so now we get into the Cruiserweight title match. While the match started off with some stellar moves from both, things nearly went south for a moment when it appeared that Buddy Murphy seriously injured his knee, only to fake it, because that's what heels do. They love to just play possum and capitalize on the momentum. So Buddy Murphy wasn't seriously hurt. He was just playing it off. After attempting to jump over Nese and landing awkwardly, Murphy crumbled to the ground and was unable to get up. However, it was all a game for Murphy, as he was simply waiting for Nese to turn his back before getting up and assaulting him. Murphy drew Nese out of the ring and began his attack, tossing him over the announcer's table before throwing him into the ring and delivering a devastating knee to the head. Unfortunately for Buddy, Nese was able to kick out of the knee and then went on a tear, with both superstars brawling after Buddy Murphy's brief upper hand. After two scares that involved both superstars nearly being counted out, the pair took things back into the ring and continued brawling. From there, it was all Tony Nese who delivered a reverse Hurricane Rana into Murphy, spiking him on his head, followed by two running knees. From there, Tony Nese was able to pin Buddy Murphy and retain his newly won Cruiserweight title, taking down Buddy Murphy in the process in an incredibly well-fought main event. And in my opinion, this was probably better than the WrestleMania match, since they were given more time. They didn't have to worry about being on a stupid kickoff show, so they were given a lot more time here. And this match went about 20-something minutes, so this was really fun to see. These guys go at it for a second time, given more time to do so, and this is just great. So it's good to see my boy Tony Nese retain the Cruiserweight title, and hopefully Buddy Murphy moves on to better things, on whether he goes to the main roster or he transitions back to NXT. It's going to be really nice what we see for Buddy as well. But I think Tony Nese is going to keep that title on for quite a while. I'm hoping he keeps it on until maybe SummerSlam. We'll see. We'll see what they'll do with Tony Nese from this point moving forward. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting what we see. Overall, it was a stellar show, very, very good show. You know, just 2 matches, but we had 2 great matches, honestly. We had Gallagher and Carrillo, and then we had Murphy and Nese in the main event, so, you know, it was really, really good. So now we move on to NXT, and again, this was just stellar. This was just, you know, filler, honestly. Really nothing special took place. The only thing that I really cared about this entire show was the main event, and we'll talk about it. So we had 3 matches on the card here for this week's NXT. It was Candice LeRae versus Aaliyah. We also had Jackson Ryker, the Forgotten Sons, taking on Danny Burch. And in the main event, we have I'm about to say Mustache Mountain. The Street Profits taking on not Jackson Ryker. The Street Profits taking on the European Union of Marcel Bartel and Fabian Edger. So first, we get into Candice LeRae versus Aaliyah. This was nothing, man. I didn't really care for this match at all. Just days after her husband, Johnny Gargano, captured the NXT Championship, Candice LeRae wrestled a rare match against Aaliyah, who was accompanied to the ring by Vanessa Bourne. Aaliyah, the lesser experienced of the competitors, capitalized on a momentary distraction by her partner to gain control of the match. An insulting slap proved all the fuel LeRae needed to fire off a comeback, delivering a second rope moonsault and scoring the pinfall victory. Like I said, this was not necessarily a great representation of how LeRae is or how underutilized she has been since arriving in NXT. But at some point, she has to stop just being Mrs. Gargano and have the opportunity to showcase her own incredible abilities like we know that she has. Overcoming the interference of Bourne was a nice comeback to Johnny Wrestling defeating Adam Cole, despite interference in the Undisputed Era. But otherwise, this was more of a reminder that one of the most talented indie wrestlers of the last decade is still on the NXT roster as an in-ring competitor, in case you forgot. Jackson Ryker versus Danny Burch. The double tough Danny Burch, seconded by partner Oney Lorcan, battled Jackson Ryker, accompanied by Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake of the Forgotten Sons. Burch started off red hot, throwing strikes at Ryker before heading to the second rope. An alert Ryker pulled him to the mat and commenced a beatdown. A missile dropkick from Burch sparked the comeback, while Lorcan helped keep Blake and Cutler at bay on the floor. Ryker survived a late roll-up attempt but fell prey to the Widowmakers. Ryker picked up his most competitive singles victory to date. Now, I like what Ryker does as far as his finishing move goes. Before, he used to just do this lazy-ass powerbomb where he would just powerbomb the guy literally on top of the rope and then just drop him, and it just looked lazy. And a powerful guy like that, Gunner from TNA, he's probably going to need a way better finisher than that. I mean, in TNA, he was using the F5. And it was a lot more devastating to him, the way Brock Lesnar does it, in my opinion. But, of course, they were not going to keep that since, it's Lesnar's move. So he ended up beating Danny Burch with a sit-out chokeslam. A really, really nice move there by Jackson Ryker. So he picks up the win there. Street Profits versus Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner. This was a damn good fucking tag team match, man. These guys really went all out. And this was really fun to watch. 2 of the top young teams in NXT squared off in the main event, each looking to enter tag team title contention as the Street Profits battled the European Union. The heels isolated Montez Ford, cutting the ring off and working him over as Angelo Dawkins watched from a distance. Rapid tags and expert teamwork fueled their continued control of the bout. Ford finally tagged Dawkins in, and the big man unloaded with a series of strikes and suplexes. Eichner and Bartel regained control of the bout, working over Ford, who had re-entered the match. Dawkins exploded back into the ring, and ultimately, the Street Profits scored the big win with a blockbuster electric chair combination. Now, like I said, this was a fun main event. It showcased just how good Bartel and Eichner had become, and really highlighted why Street Profits are among the talents with the most untapped potential in NXT. Ford sold the opposition's offense perfectly, and Dawkins was the explosive big man who brought energy to the closing moments of the match. While the victors may be in contention for a shot at the War Raiders NXT Tag Team titles, performances like this suggest both teams should be. And that's all they got for NXT. But yeah, this was, like I said, it was a really fun tag team match. Street Profits, they're always entertaining to watch. I'm becoming more of a fan now of the European Union. They have definitely progress themselves as a high stakes tag team here on NXT, and I'm really much looking forward to what they do as well on NXT UK. So that's what we got for that. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I know I should have done this video earlier in the day, but you know, I made promise to do all 3 videos in one day. So there you go. So if you enjoyed the 205 Live NXT results review, whatever, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, favorite, RKL the like button out of nowhere, and tap the bell for notifications so you get all my future uploads. And I'll be back whenever with another video for you guys. So until then, I'll see you on the next one. And I'm gonna go take a shower and I'm gonna rest up because I'm getting a little tired. But yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Too sweet.